Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. The third Saturday in October, right around the corner. SEC football rivalry Saturday. Can't wait for it, man. Just a huge opportunity for this Tennessee football program. And both teams really kind of feel like their back is against the wall. Tennessee with the loss to Arkansas. Then you beat the Gators in overtime. You flip over to Alabama, the unexpected loss to Vanderbilt. And then you kind of fight your way to a victory over South Carolina. It feels like it's already the playoffs. It feels like it's win or go home, pack it up, and call it a season. So just a huge opportunity on Saturday for this football team. Rivalry game, right? Third Saturday in October. It's going to be an orange out. So if you're going to the game, wear your orange. But it's not just an opportunity off the field or on the field, but also off the field in the world of recruiting. When you have these big time games, all eyes are on Knoxville. It's a huge opportunity in recruiting. You're going to have a lot of guys in town this weekend. You've got 4 official visitors: 4-star defensive lineman Isaiah Campbell, 4-star Memphis linebacker Austin Howard. You've also got 2 commits in 4-star linebacker Jaden Harmon and 3-star defensive lineman Darian Smith are going to be in town. And then peer recruiting, right? George McIntyre is going to be here. David Sanders is going to be here. Peer recruiting. They were here last weekend. They're back this weekend. Also, Deshaun Brame, Jack Van Dorsey is going to be here. Just a lot of guys are going to be in town to peer recruit, including a lot of guys in the class of 26 that are kind of coming in town for that first time, seeing what this program is all about. And when we talk about recruiting on this channel, so many times we point back to that Alabama game in 2022, that thrilling win, that come from behind win, just a moment that all of us are going to remember. The streak is over. What a game that was. So many guys were there, and that was their first impression of Rocky Top. So a huge opportunity. Also, the number 1 offensive tackle in the class of 26, Emmanuel Ianocho, is going to be there. So a lot of guys on campus, huge opportunity. But just this week, couple of guys have been predicted to Tennessee. The Fong Bomb, the crystal balls. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Just smash the thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps this channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if it's your first time here, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not journalists. We don't pretend to be any of that stuff. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live tomorrow morning, Friday morning, 10 a.m. Coach Jay is going to be in the house. We're going to get you ready for the third Saturday in October. We'll also be live an hour before kickoff for the fan call-in show, and then immediately following the game, be right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network for the post-game show. Let's get into it. This was earlier this week. The Fong Bomb comes in. What's a Fong Bomb? That's Steve Wiltfong making a prediction for a commitment, and he drops it. It says 2025 4-star defensive lineman Isaiah Campbell has received an expert prediction to Tennessee from Steve Wiltfong with On3 Sports. It says Campbell is ranked the number 4 defensive lineman and number 32 overall recruit in the class of 2025, according to On3 Sports. Now, Isaiah Campbell is a guy that we've talked about before. Still going to go ahead and pull up his profile, take a look at it so you guys can see it for yourself. You see there 6'3.5", 265 out of Durham, North Carolina. Top 50 prospect, right? 45th overall according to the industry rankings. So when you look at where Tennessee is at right now, they had the decommitment from Douglas Utu, dropped them from 7th to 8th. But if you add the commitment of Isaiah Campbell, he would be the second highest prospect in the class of 25 for Tennessee behind David Sanders. So he would kind of just be a swap out. Now, obviously, Douglas Utu plays the offensive line, Isaiah Campbell on the defensive line. Just so much depth with Rodney Garner, what he is building with that unit. You look at the offensive line and Douglas Utu, I think Tennessee, which is as much as they're going to lose on the offensive line, and you've got some young guys like William Satterwhite and Bennett Warren. Of course, Lance Hurd's young. I know we're being critical of him right now, but he's young. I think you're probably ultimately going to end up looking at the portal for that offensive line. But again, Isaiah Campbell, 4-star defensive lineman. Clemson offered back in May of 2023. He committed in January over Florida State, North Carolina, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. And you guys know how Dabo Sweeney is. He doesn't allow you to take visits. So Tennessee kept trying to push to get him on campus during the summer. That's not how it works at Clemson. But there was a lot of dialogue, a lot of back and forth between Tennessee, Isaiah Campbell. There were a lot of rumors that he was going to decommit. That finally happened. He picked up the phone, reached out to Tennessee. The decommitment comes, and then he comes in town. He takes that visit to Knoxville coming up tomorrow. He is going to take his official visit. Also scheduled a visit with North Carolina. They are also in the mix here. Ohio State kind of hanging around as well, but the only two visits he scheduled were Tennessee for the Alabama game coming up on Saturday, and then also North Carolina coming up in November. Scouting report. This is from Andrew Ivins, director of scouting at 247 Sports. Says he's a moldable defensive lineman that can be deployed in a variety of different ways at the next level in both odd and even fronts. Says size hasn't been third-party verified in over a year, but looks to be north of 6'3", with the room to eventually carry 285 or more. Says he produced in a big way as a junior, racking up 110 tackles, 16 sacks as he used active hands to get off blocks. Adequate get off at this stage and has the burst to dart laterally and make stops while in pursuit. Understands how to find leverage, but isn't the most consistent edge setter and is likely going to need some technical refinement before he's ready to be a full-time contributor on Saturdays. Overall, should be viewed as a scheme versatile point of attack defender that can slow down the run and add some value as a pass rusher. Could take a major step forward after a developmental year or two in a college strength program. Sunday upside if he can keep progressing. So again, that's the scouting report from Andrew Ivins. A few weeks ago, Steve Wiltfong put out an update, said that Campbell's going to take the official to Knoxville the weekend of the 18th, also has a November trip set to North Carolina. Says Campbell has been eyeing a Tennessee visit for a while, and following his decommit from Clemson over the weekend, he's now free to take it. Chad Simmons wrote on Saturday he likes the way this is developing for the Vols, and I do too. But again, you get the official prediction from Steve Wiltfong over at On3 for the Vols to land Isaiah Campbell. That would be absolutely huge here in the class of 2025. Again, I think if he does commit to Tennessee, you probably see them jump back up around 7th or so, and we'll see how they close it out. But I'm happy. I'm pretty happy with the class of 2025 and what Josh Heupel has done. But we can also move into the class of 2026. The way recruiting works, man, it starts really with the class of 26 now. And I know we still got a ways to go to the early signing period. We're several months away from signing day in February. But the way recruiting works now, so much takes place throughout the course of the summer, and that's why we cover it right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. So we're getting geared up already for the class of 2026, and you can see there on the screen, Tom Loy over at 247 Sports puts in a crystal ball for class of 26 wide receiver Tristan Keys to land with the Volunteers. Now, you look at the class of 26, you're already off to a pretty solid start. You've got the number one overall player in the country, according to 247 Sports, and five-star quarterback Faison Brandon committed to Tennessee. Also, four-star tight end Carson Snead is in the boat. He ranks 205th nationally, four-star tight end. But Tristan Keys here, four-star wide receiver, 6'3", 170 out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. He's got offers from Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn, Florida State, LSU, Miami, Michigan, Notre Dame, and many others. When you look at the rankings, and again, it's kind of early in the class of 26, you don't see a lot of scouting reports out there for everybody. 247 Sports really high on him, have him 23rd overall, fourth best wide receiver in the country, number one player out of the state of Mississippi. Now, if you look at the On3 industry rankings, that's a combination of On3, 247 Sports, ESPN Rivals, kind of an average. They put more value at On3 and 247 Sports, a little less at ESPN and Rivals. They've got a little math equation. They've got Tristan Keys, 41st overall, sixth best wide receiver in the country, and number 2 ranked player out of the state of Mississippi. He was in town last weekend for the win over Florida, could possibly be back this weekend for the Alabama game. But coming out of that win over Florida, said he loved the environment. He said it is one of, matter of fact, it is the loudest stadium that I have been in. He says great support from the fans. I love the way the coaches trust the players to go out there even after a bad or negative play. They trust them to go back out there and make a big play that'll impact the game. I love seeing that. He's also got a great relationship. I mentioned five-star quarterback, number 1 overall player in the country, Tennessee commit, quarterback Faison Brandon. Got a good relationship with him, and they were actually there together. Faison Brandon was at the Florida game as well. Here's the quote from Tristan Keys. He said, "There's been a lot of recruiting. He's a great guy, great quarterback. He deserves his spot. He's a great quarterback. I saw him play Friday night. It was amazing. He said just having a relationship with a quarterback that can sling it is important. And you want to find those relationships in just a quarterback that can get you the ball and a quarterback that you can trust. The relationship we've got, I feel like it is strong, and we're working our way to a certain point. So that's the quotes from Tristan Keys coming off of the visit last weekend. And then he gets the crystal ball from Tom Lloyd. Now, is this a spoiler? Or is this just kind of a gauge of where Tristan Keys is at? I wouldn't say it's a spoiler. The Fong Bomb for Isaiah Campbell, I don't even know that it's a spoiler. We'll see what happens there. We'll see, what happens this weekend, right, with Isaiah Campbell coming in town for the Alabama game. Does he go ahead and pull the trigger and commit to Tennessee this weekend after the visit and cancel that trip to North Carolina? But a little bit of recruiting news on this Thursday morning. What do you guys think? Jump to the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would greatly appreciate it. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise. Think about joining this channel. It helps keep the lights on. It allows us to bring you as much content as possible, allows me to do the morning streams with Kaner and with Coach Jay. So we appreciate the support. The links to do that, the merchandise, the memberships, it's all in the description below, or you can hit the join button right over there beside subscribe. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.